Hello Twinflames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Happy Sunday guys, happy weekend. I hope you're in a great mood. I hope you had some rest and some quality time on whatever or whoever you wanted to spend the time on. I'm gonna do reading with more decks today. So I finally got my new deck. It's called the Cosmic Oracle. The Cosmic Journey, actually, Oracle. It's a little bit different from the usual one. I'm only gonna do it in the regular way today, so it actually includes like Q&A game in it, and I'm definitely gonna do that in the next few days. We'll try it out. But for now, I'm just caught in the part with the regular Oracle cards, so we're gonna do it the usual way. Then I brought this deck, which I haven't used for a while, so this is gonna be cool. I don't even remember what it's called. Yeah, it's just tarot, I guess. And at the end, we're gonna use the Beyond the Mura deck for some additional guidance, because it's weekend and I feel like it. I also have my token cards to get you some. Look, we have one of Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. To get you some messages from DMs, DFs, between the twins. So let's get started right away. Remember that this is a timeless message actually, so if you get across this message on a different day, that's why I specifically don't put any dates in the titles. Not to confuse people, not to make them doubt themselves. If you were intuitively guided to this message on a different day, you were supposed to hear it today. Like whenever you were hearing it, you are watching this. Also, we have a new moon coming up this week, so I'll probably do a special reading for that. Maybe we'll do Q&A for that reading. I'll think about it. I just got the cards, so I need to practice it a bit more myself first. So we do it in the right way. And of course, if you like what I'm doing, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. So for Divine Feminine, we've got, how can this be a wonderful win-win-win? This deck actually challenges us quite a bit. So I think this is one of the most positive cards. Like, let's make it a win-win-win situation. I don't know, win-win-win, including the universe, maybe. You, your twin flame, and the divine. Number 16, by the way, or 7. So this is about going deep into the spiritual, right? Digging deep. It's not that simple. It's not that on the surface necessarily. So food for thought. How can your situation be a win-win-win? Whatever is troubling you, whatever is concerning you, how can you turn it around into a win-win-win? For Divine Masculines, we have on. There you go. See through the perfectly purple lens of your galactic destiny. Yeah, I would say it's also, for me, considered like it's connected with like 7 energy, right? With the 7th chakra as well, the crown chakra. But Divine Masculines are asked to put a spiritual lens on their situation, on what they're seeing in their universe right now, what's happening in their life. Okay, so let's get on with the reading. Let's see what we have for Divine Feminine energy. Ace of Swords. What about Divine Masculines? Four of Pentacles. What about the connection? 7 of Swords. Wow. Bottom of the deck, the Justice. Please clarify Ace of Swords for feminines. Also, if you'd like a personal reading or coaching session, don't hesitate to reach out via email address. All right, please clarify, oh wow. Please clarify 7 of Swords. Okay, thank you. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Wands. Look at that. I like both of these energies. They're like, you know, this is like the grounded, logical part, and this is the passionate driver, like, yeah, let's go. But with logic, but you know, with balance. That's good, that's good. Okay, so for the feminine, we have Ace of Swords, clarified by Ace of Swords and Knight of Pentacles. Not joking, you can make it up. Oh boy. So yeah, Divine Feminines, I have to kind of tread lightly what I'm hearing. And remember how important it is for you to stay in your truth and to be yourself. Both, like, well, again, we had win-win-win for 3 directions, right? 3 wins. For you, for your twin flame and your connection, and for the rest of the world. Because remember, you are a teacher, master teacher. You're supposed to lead by example, and you know, people are looking up to you, whether you like it or not, whether you acknowledge that or not. Even if you are not actively in mission, it's still a thing. You are a social being, right? You still have your friends and relatives. You are somewhere on social media. You have a job where people know you. Like, there's still that aspect of others looking up to you for how you do it. So it's super, super important that you don't rush anything and you don't act out of negative emotion, out of spite, out of judgment, you know, all of those things. But you look at it again, right? You're like, okay, so what's the truth? You look deep. We are talking about number 7 today. What is the truth? If you are doing that, please keep doing that. That's super important. And if you're doubting whether it's the right way, or you're like, okay, I'm being too pedantic, or should it just be easier, you are doing everything correctly. If you're not, and you feel like you're still choosing an easy way out and something that's more comfortable for you when you're facing other people, then check yourself and think how it could be a win-win-win for everybody. It doesn't have to be just black or white, right? There's so many shades in between of what you can choose, so that you are true to yourself and you are you're not triggering or intimidating other people too much, if that's what you were thinking about. But again, if that's your concern, check yourself again and think of, and we can certainly talk about that separately if you're interested, how much of a benefit it could be for those other people if you trigger them on the correct subject at the correct time. It could be life-changing for them. Even if in the moment they feel angry, they feel sad, they feel scared, how much it can change for them in the long run. Think about that. For Divine Masculines, we have 4 of Pentacles, clarified by 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So masculines are all in 3D world right now. They are counting their financials, they're thinking, okay, yeah, what I have right now may not be enough for the future that I want to have. And they don't necessarily, they don't necessarily think about specifically you, but just in general, right? If your journey is at the time where they're considering this, then yes, they're thinking about the long term with you. If not, it's in general in their life. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's gonna be all the same, right? Because with this item, they are considering one of those questions, like what is gonna happen with my life in 5 years, in 10 years, where I'm gonna be, am I gonna be able to provide for myself and my family, am I gonna have the life that I want for myself and for my family? That sort of thinking. They are looking at that today very closely, trying to to calculate certain steps that they can take, certain investments, certain projects of like, okay, I want to do X, Y, Z, and this is good, but is it gonna get me to the lifestyle that I want to have? That's that. And I mean, I would say generally they're not in a very optimistic place today about it. They're sort of acknowledging that they're not in a good place, that if they don't figure something out and change something, it's not gonna happen. They don't see that way, that, you know, it's like just, yeah, no. So that's where they are. So at least they're acknowledging that they need to do something differently. And that's good. For the connection, we have Seven of Swords clarified by Nine of Cups. In this deck, it's also connected with like cold-heartedness, I would say, right? It's connected with Aquarius, which is interesting because Neptune, because we are in Aquarius season. But this is like, you know, when sometimes we're too cold-blooded about something, you know, we're trying to be super rational and super pedantic about things, about the situation. This is about the connection right now. So it shows me that the twins should lighten up a little. And look at this. This has blue as well, but it's like a curtain. So it's almost like you zoom out from this picture and you see a bigger picture with all this wonderful 9 cups. And with a yellow background, with the sun shining, right? 9 of Cups is the wish coming true. It's manifesting what you want. So it's like, yeah, that is just a background for you to kind of acknowledge things against it, against your rational mind, against a colder approach to things. A colder meaning with less passion, you know, with less sort of joy and wonder in it. Doesn't mean negative necessarily. It's just emotionless. Emotions aren't really that bad all the time, right? And that emotions give us that spark of excitement, of creativity, of wanting to move forward, right? So again, to me, this speaks a lot about this situation. That anything could be a win-win-win, depending on what kind of spin you put on it. And look about it, this one, this is a spin as well, right? Or for masculines, if you put a galactic lens on it, you will see why you are where you are, why you're experiencing certain events. You have certain people in your life that may not necessarily make you happy, but you understand their importance as soon as you look at it through the galactic lens. Okay, let's move forward. We have more cards. Yeah, let's continue with the Beyond Lemuria. So I'm gonna pull a card for each of the twins here. For Divine Feminines, please, some guidance. I'm not going to be reading the book today, so it's going to be a little more brief, but I'll leave it to you to kind of see what it means specifically in your case, in your journey. We have Evolution, 24, and we have 41, Realm Breacher. Yeah, so this is like a new spin of evolution of, you know, ascension process for Divine Feminines. It's a beautiful time now, astrologically speaking, and you're asked to fully embrace this evolution. To be a realm breacher where you're not just limited by your 3D mind, by what you see around you, by what you've been taught by this society. You are brave enough to go beyond, to go to other realms, right? And if you're wondering what does it mean or how can it help me, there's a lot of information about it. And I recommend books rather than online stuff, to be honest. But if you're wondering, let me know in the comments and I can recommend some things. If you want to talk to me, email me, we can set up a session. But yeah, it's definitely time to go beyond, so that when you have a question, when you have doubt, when you need help, you're going beyond 3D. And I don't just mean praying before you go to bed. It's a good start, but you are capable of much more right now. By now. Think about it. Okay, what we have for Divine Masculines. Activate your throat chakra. That's what I'm hearing for you as well. Remove the blocks if you have any. And throat chakra is not just about speaking in public to other people. It's also about speaking to yourself, speaking to the divine, speaking to your spirit guides. It's all of it. One card for Divine Masculines, please. The Sound of the Universe, number 51. Yeah, so masculines, masculines are asked to kind of I'm getting with this card to pay attention to their senses, to do some meditation, or at least to have some time for themselves where it can be quiet, so they can actually again hear beyond their 3D mind. In this case, it's more about hearing. And the sound of the universe can tell you a lot more than what you're used to so far. You just need to listen carefully. Even the nature, you know, like even in 3D reality, the universe can speak to you in so many different ways. Okay, last but not least, messages between the twins. Messages from Divine Masculine to the Feminine. Okay. Got a few. I left because you told me to. I'm manifesting you. That's nice. Think before you act. Yeah, exactly what we had for Divine Feminine. So your masculine is on the same page with that. I want to start a family with you and you make my heart full. Oh my god. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. This is so cool. Yeah, so and remember we saw 10 of Pentacles in reverse for the masculine, so that's what's on their mind. They're thinking now how to make it all happen in 3D, but because masculines are more 3D in general, that's their focus. They are there energetically, like they acknowledge this connection, right? But now, immediately they start thinking, how can we make it happen in this physical reality? With everything going on, with these extra people in our lives who are not going to be on board, and with finances, of course, because they want to give you the life that you deserve, because you make their heart full, and because they want to have a family with you. Wonderful. From DF to DM, please. But think before you act, Divine Feminines. Okay. Anything else? Thank you. We have, I imagine you naked. I'm too afraid to talk to you. Both 8s, by the way. And I meant what I said. Yeah, it's interesting because with the masculine we had, I left because you told me to, and feminine's response was, I meant what I said. But you know what? Don't feel bad about it. I'm getting that some of you feel bad about what you said. Don't feel bad. It had to be said in the moment. You were led to do that. And trust me, Divine Masculines get it as well. When they say something and they don't necessarily realize what they're doing, they're just led by the divine at that point. Because something had to be said, something had to be triggered in you if they are saying it, or in this case, probably in them. For them to start thinking about things differently, right? It's food for thought. But in this case, even further, it's like, I meant what I said. So what you said actually meant a lot of, like, made a lot of sense. So even if you saw that you hurt their feelings, that's what had to be done. It's part of staying in your truth and keeping your boundaries, that you don't just do what the other person would definitely like to hear, right? That's the Ace of Swords. So task for today for Divine Feminines, practice your Ace of Swords as much as you can. Notice, it's very interesting actually. You can do a journaling for a day or two and notice, like, describe the situation in detail to yourself and see whether you followed Ace of Swords guidance in each of them and how you can do more of it. And then you'll be able to do more and more of it as you begin noticing that, where you could have been more honest with yourself or with others. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being with me today. And I'll talk to you again very, very soon. Bye, everyone.